Hello, I'm Aaron Koopman from Clinier Group, and we are talking about the certification journey and wanting to dive into a topic that we get a lot of questions about, which is DO-178 software certification. We are seeing a lot of interest out there on this topic and also seeing a lot of folks looking for candidates to hire and interview. And one of the things we want to share in this discussion is what should you be looking for in your candidates and what kind of questions should you be asking when you're interviewing for this kind of position. Lucky to be joined by Michael Bauer, who is an expert in this field and part of the Clinier team, bringing this expertise to our clients and hopefully providing some helpful information for you today. Hello, Michael. Welcome.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you everyone for tuning in to listen. To mention a few points about my background, I studied electrical engineering and embedded systems at the University of Washington, and I've been working in the aerospace field for about 20 years now, ranging from working as a subsystem supplier to the traditional OEMs early on, and now fielding some work in the advanced air mobility space, which is quite interesting. And I'm very pleased to be part of the Clinier Group.
Michael, what would a hiring manager look for in terms of years of experience and potential industry background that might be a clue that they're getting a really good candidate, and some of the things you would look for when you're hiring DO-178 talent?
Sure. I'd say to your question about number of years, I kind of look at it as in somewhere around the 5-year point. Up until then, people are still deciding whether they enjoy DO-178. And so that would be, depending on if you're looking for somebody who's been through some of these efforts before, a number I would kind of look at 5 and above would be my reference point for more experienced personnel. However, you may want to pair your team with some younger folks that could bring additional ideas and viewpoints. And so in that lower range would be kind of where I would look for that. And I would say in terms of skills, I'd say really we want a broad spectrum of skills on the team. And so that might mean some people that are more interested in kind of the high level picture of what's happening. Maybe some folks that enjoy the planning process and the certification process and maybe the management of the software effort. And then pairing that with people who really enjoy the nitty gritty of maybe interacting with the hardware or writing the logic for the system itself as well. So really all of those are important skills, and sometimes you can find them in one specific individual, but sometimes you want to build your team containing all of those. I would say some of the areas that we look to help our clients at Clinier would include planning, which is a big focus, particularly for new companies who may not have traditionally been a part of the aerospace industry. Tool qualification, which is kind of a supplemental activity, which is useful to have a set of hands in a third party to kind of lift that load so that you can focus on the technical aspects. And then just generally being a team member. And so we can roll up our sleeves and participate in the effort and provide our expertise wherever needed on deck. And Aaron, I would now move to ask you a question. You've been with Clinier quite a long time, and I talked a lot about the software side of what we can offer. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about what else Clinier has to offer.
I think the parallels to what you've talked about in DO-178 speak to our broader skills. We certainly love offering advice early on. You spoke earlier about sometimes it's too early to take on the burden of certification. We love to be there to help advise clients on what the process looks like. They don't have to invest heavily, but they should know when should they invest, when should they seek help, what will that help look like, how much time might they need it. And we can advise on safety. We can advise on component certification, and also looking at verification and validation activities. We're also there in the midst of the different parts of the journey. We can roll up our sleeves and help produce artifacts, help produce content, help produce templates that the client can use to not only help them achieve their goals, but mentor and bring up the team in certification experience. And I know that you enjoy mentoring and bringing a team along to build their skill set and also their knowledge of DO-178, so that you leave the team better than you found it, is what we like to say. So if there's any interest in some of this early advice in DO-178 and more questions, please reach out to Michael or myself. And if you're interested in anything having to do with the certification journey, we'd love to have a conversation. Please reach out to us or follow us on LinkedIn, and we'll be providing more content to help you and your team on your certification journey. Thank you for your time.